Happy Wednesday, Wildcats. Welcome back to another cold morning. Woo. Luckily, though, it's going to warm up today, and it should be very, toasty. I almost said toasty when 30 tomorrow is going to feel toasty, right? It'll melt that snow, and then it'll be a little warmer after that. So, I guess we all have our degrees of what we think are warm and not warm. All right, so today, here's what we've got. We've got speaking and listen. We've got the speaking portion, I believe, speaking portion of WIDA for some people, especially sixth grade today. We're having our seventh grade meeting down in the cafetorium. That'll start at 9:45. We have eighth grade spa. That'll start at 9:45. Okay, and then we have sixth grade. We'll do the Be Good People lesson about empathy. I talked to you yesterday about that. Great sixth grade, by the way. Whew, wonderful job yesterday. Audience members, very nice. Just did a fantastic job. I'm so proud. And you guys, I think, listened to what I had to say. It wasn't all agreeing with what I said, but you guys did a good job of listening to what I had to say. So I appreciate you on that. And hopefully 7th and 8th grade, we're following up just the same, right? We're going to be doing the same exact thing, talking about some things today. And so I was super proud of you. Got a shout out today. And we're also going to go over the young adult life of Dr. Martin Luther King. So let's get to our announcements. All right, today's Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, and these are your morning announcements. The mission of Westland Middle School is to reveal the genius of each Wildcat through a culture of joy, respect, and excellence. We believe every person deserves to be seen, affirmed, and to grow. Safe Wildcats keep their hands to themselves and resolve conflicts peacefully. All the time. Safe Wildcats on the bus. Stay in your seat until you're stopped. Do not yell or make loud noises. Follow the driver's directions. And if your phone is playing music, you should have it in a headphone. This should not be played out loud. We should not be sharing with someone else. Just do headphones only. Or if we're watching YouTube videos or whatever, we're doing it through headphones. That's to not distract the driver. Remember that riding the bus is a privilege which can be taken away. So let's not have that taken away, Wildcats. Respectful Wildcats use respectful words when communicating to any person. Responsible Wildcats wear their ID around their neck. They have their binder and organized student agenda book and pencil with them and filled out. Their hats and sunglasses are off. Their hoods are down. Their phones, earbuds, and headphones and purses and backpacks are all in their locker, including the big headphones, and the blankets stay at home. Responsible Wildcats also report to every class on time every day. Talking to you 7th and 8th graders especially. You have got to get to class on time every day. Some of you are getting it to where we're going to have your parent walk around with you, or you're going to have to stay home because it's getting ridiculous. And so when I share the numbers with you today and tomorrow, or today and Friday, is not a pleasant number. I've got to share it with you. All right, today's a blue day with extended advisory to 10:15. Then we run block 1, 2, block 3 is a lunch period, block 4, and 5. Island checkpoint 2s are coming up. So again, 6th grade, you're going to be asked in English to cite evidence to show analysis and inferencing. You're going to need to know central idea and key details, and you're going to need to know author's purpose and perspective. All right? 7th grade in math, you're going to need to know unit rate and the proportional relationships, ratio and percent with multiple operations. You're going to need to create scale drawings using proportional reasoning, and you're going to need to define slope. All right, define slope. 8th grade, English. You're going to need to cite evidence. You're going to need to understand and use vocabulary with context clues. Like when they won't give you the word, they'll give you context clues. You have to figure out what a word means. And you also have to distinguish words with similar meanings, right? So you have to distinguish those words with similar meanings. And that's checkpoints. So we'll go over these each up to the time we're doing them. All right, 7th, 8th grade students. Yesterday, we had the most students of all the 3 middle schools out and signed up for our Chinese day. They had a good time. Also, too, if you still want to register, you can still register. You don't have to come to every day, but let's just say you come to one Japanese day next week and you can make it to one Latin day the week after. Go ahead and sign up. It is tinyurl.com, and the backslash is NSDWT Language Lab. All right. And also, too, your parents can sign up. I'll send that out in Parent Square again tonight. So if you're interested, have your parents sign you up. We do have after school buses. All right. Today for lunch, appetizer basket, rib BQ sandwich, deli wrap, bento pizza box, and broccoli. Tomorrow for breakfast, we'll have cinnamon toast crunch bar or breakfast banana split, cereal juice, milk. All right, so Be Good People today is about empathy. So talking to you, sixth graders today, you'll be having your Be Good People lesson. It's about empathy for everyone. Everyone's had the same lesson under Be Good People, and so the discussions could go different ways, right? But Be Good People is you today. I make sure we clean up Westline. Make sure all messes are cleaned up in the hallways. Don't leave a mess for someone else to pick up. Pick it up yourself, especially if you make the mess. Don't forget to wash your hands for 20 seconds and help prevent the spread of germs and vampire cough into your sleeve, please. All right, let's talk about the life of Dr. King. When we last left yesterday, he had just been married and had 4 kids, and so let's talk today about him opening his church. So he did civil rights in the 50s, right? So it wasn't just a shorter thing. He was doing that quite a bit. So he experienced racism early in life. He decided to do something about it and make the world a fairer place. During the 1950s, Dr. King became active in the movement for civil rights and racial equality. Now, Rosa Parks, we all know her, was arrested on December 1st, 1955, and he joined the bus boycotts. So just 4 days later, he was elected president of the Montgomery Improvement Association. This makes him the official spokesman for the boycott. So on November 13th, so just a little less than a year, the Supreme Court rules that bus segregation is legal. So he stood up, made a stand, and got the law changed. Like, that's how powerful one person can be, right? Or several people can be. On May 17th, 1957, he spoke to a crowd of about 15,000 in Washington, D.C. Then in 58, the U.S. Congress passed the first Civil Rights Act. It's the first act passed since the 1870s, right after the Civil War. He also had his first book published. It's called Stride Towards Freedom. He went on a speaking tour, and he is nearly killed when a woman in Harlem stabbed him. And so she stabbed him, and he actually had to stay still, and they didn't pull the knife out and wait to get to the doctor, because if he'd have moved one way or the other, he would possibly have died in that time when the woman stabbed him. He also visited India to study Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence. He resigned from pastoring to concentrate on civil rights full-time. Then he moved to Atlanta to direct the activities of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And then in 1960, his father and him became the co-pastors of Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. He started lunch counter sit-ins in Greensboro, North Carolina. And in Atlanta, he was arrested during a sit-in. He was waiting to be served at a restaurant that would not serve black people. He was sentenced to 4 months in jail, and then John and Robert Kennedy helped get him out of jail. The Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee is then founded. They organized protests at Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina. So tomorrow we start in the 60s. So 60s were heavy for civil rights and heavy in a time for Dr. Martin Luther King. A lot of things happened between 1960 and 1968. Want to give a shout out. Here we go. What class am I shouting out? Who knows? What class am I shouting out? Oh, period 510 for Miss Porter and Miss Z. They were on it on Monday. They worked together with the number line, and they were able to explain their thinking with different inequalities. Marlon, I was sitting back by Marlon, man. He was on it, especially. So great job, period 510, Miss Porter, Miss Z's class. All right, now we got our dress code here at Westline. This means no undone belts, no sleepwear, no hats or hoods, especially when it's cold. We just don't wear hats and hoods in the building, except when you're exiting and coming in. In the cafeteria, please sitting on your correct tables and facing the center. Have your ID. Stay in your seat until your grade level is called. Walk back to the right. When you go to your class, if you're music, you will wait until you're called, but everybody else walks back to their right to the class they came from, either 3 or 8. All trash and trays should be off the tables and floors. Everything should be clean. Thank you. Each student gets an average of 1 pass a week and no pass in the first 20 minutes or last 20 minutes of class. And every pass that you get out of a classroom is 5 minutes or less. Don't forget the bell does not dismiss you. Your teacher does. Breakfast students, you must report directly to the cafetorium off the bus to get breakfast. And if you get here past 9:25 in the car, we're not giving you breakfast. Okay, we're just not. We don't you need to get here sooner than that. All food should be in the cafetorium. No food should be eaten outside the cafetorium. And you must have your ID for you to receive a hall pass and check on library books. All cell phones are in your locker between 9:25 and 4:25. They'll be taken if they're seen or heard. And if you're using your smartwatch like a phone, we'll treat it like a phone and take it and hold on to it with till your parents come and pick it up. Don't forget our motto, Cada Wildcat, cada dia mejora, which means every Wildcat every day gets better. So let's get better today, Wildcats. Again, I will see 7th grade in just a moment. 8th grade, you're doing spa. 6th grade, you're doing Be Good People. Let's have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody.